Okay, cheesy cauliflower and broccoli bake. Let's go. There's a recipe. Um, don't want to waste anything here, so starting by we've already chopped up the florets from the broccoli. We're going to chop up the stalk. Not going to waste that. Same goes for the cauliflower. You could use pretty much any veg in this. This is just me using up what veg I had in the fridge. So this is completely vegetarian and there's no waste. We're going to save the leaves of the cauliflower. Always save the leaves of the cauliflower, they're delicious. Okay, good. And then we're going to break this down. We're even going to use that bit there, chop it up into bits. We're going to break the cauliflower down into florets as well. Make sure you use all of it. Okay, so there's the florets and the bits that we would normally throw away but are delicious. Okay, salted pan of boiling water. We're going to blanch the cauliflower florets and the broccoli stalks because they are the toughest and they will cook at roughly about the same time. And when they're tender, probably about, I don't know, 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, plunge into some cold water. If you've got ice, chuck a bit of ice in, it'll help. Then we're going to add the broccoli florets. These don't take long at all, 2 or 3 minutes. Do the same, straight into some cold water. That's called blanching and refreshing. Helps keep them green. Cauliflower leaves, we're going to give them a wash. We're not going to blanch these, we're going to roast them. So just give them a quick rinse. Make sure there's no caterpillars in there or anything. Drizzle with a little bit of oil. Quick tumble. Then we're just going to chuck these on a baking sheet. Put those in the oven, 180, for about 10 minutes. Okay, for the cheese sauce, it's going to save a little bit of the liquid that we used to blanch the veggies in. In this case I've added a bit of cream because I had some in the fridge, but milk will do. I'm just going to add a Knorr, in this case a Knorr veg stock cube. Obviously you can use whatever stock cubes, you don't have to use a stock cube, just gives it a nice rich flavour. Chuck that in there. Cornflower. But I'm not using a roux or anything here, I'm just going to use 4 teaspoons of cornflower, mix that with a little bit of water, stir that in. You want to do this before you add the cheese, otherwise it will split. Okay, cheese, lots of cheese. Cheese makes people happy. 300 grams of cheese in here. This is a mature cheddar. Give that a stir, should all melt fairly quickly. Season it, bit of salt, bit of pepper. So here I've added a bit of wholegrain mustard, needed using, but you can add some Worcestershire sauce, any kind of mustard. A little bit of Tabasco is quite nice. Right, we're going to chuck it all in an oven-proof dish. Just arrange it nicely. So when you scoop in, you get a bit of everything. I'm going to get the cauliflower leaves. Roasted cauliflower leaves are a delicious smell. So good. Just arrange those in there as well. Pour over your lovely cheese sauce. Make sure you get in all the corners. You want to let that sit and let go cold for a little bit because we're going to put more cheese on top and we don't want that to melt immediately. Leave it for 5 minutes. Okay, the next bit's optional because so far this is gluten free, but this bit obviously isn't. That's just some stale bread that I had, some brown bread. Mix that with a bit more cheese. I've actually chucked a little bit of parmesan in there as well. about 50, about this equal amounts of each, and then just sprinkle that over the top. We're going to bake in the oven for 180 degrees for 30 minutes. It's good for a meal, as a meal on its own. In this case, we had it as kind of like a side accompaniment to Sunday lunch. But yeah, in this amount as well, it saves. You can have it as a midweek meal, and that's it done.